guys, welcome back to another video, another installment of Artists That Should Be on your guys' radar. These are artists brought to you guys, by you guys, recommendations that you have for me to listen to that I can relay back to you. Since it is summer, I want to stay within this like Brockhampton sphere-ish of artists that I've been talking about a lot recently. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but it's just the music that I've been really into a lot. So I'm going to be talking mainly about like groups of artists or duos or, you know, we'll get into it, you'll understand, but I have 5-ish artists for you guys that are sort of in that summer sphere that I hope you guys will enjoy. Before we get into it though, I do need to introduce myself first. Hi, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, welcome back. This is where I talk about music and music related things. I like to talk about albums, artists, events, and observations that I see happening in the music world around me. So if that is something that you seem to be into, you are welcome to like, subscribe, and stick around for a little while. You can even hit the notification bell while you're down there, give it a little tap, a little tickle. But now that we have all that out of the way, let's get on with this video and into these artists. So like I said, we are going to be talking about this like Brockhampton-ish feel that we've been feeling a lot this summer. But that being said, I'm not going to be talking about Blush by Kevin Abstract. I know a lot of people have been wanting me to talk about them, and I will get to Blush, I promise you, but these are non-Brockhampton artists that we'll be talking about. So our first artist is actually Joey, Valence, and Brae. They are one of my favorites and have been one of my favorites for quite a while now. I've been listening to them for I want to say like 2 years, maybe 3 years at this point. They are a hip-hop duo from Pennsylvania, and they gained a lot of internet fame from their song Punk Tactics, which you might have heard.
If you don't shut your mouth, I'ma shut it for you, punk.
They started making music in about 2021-ish with their first song Crank It Up, and they've been making music ever since then. Their song Punk Tactics blew up in like 2022 on TikTok and Instagram and all that. They note that their number one influences were artists like Beastie Boys and just old alternative hip-hop songs. They're one of these more like internet core artists, I want to say. They reference a lot of video games, a lot of internet memes, which I think is why they really pop off on social media quite a lot. In 2022, they went to So What Fest, where, fun fact, I saw them there, and I also saw them on Sum 41's tour, but unfortunately I am yet to see them doing their own show. One day I will. Their second album though, No Hands, came out last year, I think, in 2024, and it's really, really good. It has that same feel as Punk Tactics, but it's a little bit harder, a little bit more rock. It has Danny Brown on it, it has Tara Reid on it. The single from it, The Baddest, got a lot of traction. I think there was even like a remix with Aisha Erotica on it. I think it's Aisha Erotica. And most recently, they just came out with this song with JPEG Mafia called What's Up. You know, they're just a little hip-hop duo even. They really just do whatever they want, whenever they want, and I really rock with them. I love their vibe. I think it's super fun. I think they're super cool. They're very 2000s-ish. They give Guy Fieri a little bit. Like, if you can imagine that aesthetic, that's exactly what they're like. All right, my second artist, my second band really is WHATMORE. I don't know if you guys have heard of them or seen them on TikTok, but they are a group of 5 members from, I believe they're from New York. I could be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure they're from New York. They just came out with their very first single called East Side with My Dogs. I'll play a clip of that like later at the end when I talk about it again. Before that, they have been popping off on TikTok a lot. They've been doing these sort of reimaginings of other artists' songs. I forget what they call them, but they have them all up on Bandcamp. I think they call them just like flips of songs, and their dynamic and their relationship is super duper cool. They've been friends for quite a long time, so they've been collaborating a lot. They know each other really well, which I think really helps with their artistry. It allows them to better intertwine their thoughts and their feelings about their art, really get it out there in a more cohesive way rather than if they were just 5 people from random places all grouped up into one. A really popular sort of flip that they had was when they reimagined Mutt by Leon Thomas.
She said take your time. Why you stressing? Been doing this way before the uppies. Now we up and they try and link, I can lovey-dovey.
And then literally a couple weeks ago, they came out with their debut single called East Side with My Dogs.
East side with the roses on my dog.
landing a place on Spotify's New Music Friday playlist, which is such a big deal for a debut single. And I believe they will be coming out with more music this summer, so you should definitely stay tuned for that if that is your vibe, if that is your jam. Another artist that is really similar to this group is Laundry Day, who you also have probably seen on TikTok. They are another pop rock sort of band from New York. I believe they started making music in 2018, so they are kind of a bit on the older side of artists, not like age-wise but group-wise. It consists of 4 members, and they actually made this group when they were in high school, which I think is super duper cool. They released their debut album in 2018. It was called Trumpet Boy. I really enjoy it personally. I like their older style. No, I love their newer style too, but I just think that their older style has a little bit of like twang to it because they were so young. Their second album was actually produced or co-produced by a member of Brockhampton, which I think is so cool, and then they were also at ACL in 2019, so they really blew up like from the beginning. This is an artist that I've been listening to I think since 2021ish, maybe 2022, but I'm pretty sure it's 2021. So I've been on the Laundry Day grind, but I still did come kind of late to the party. They've had some pretty big breaks. They've opened for Ed Sheeran, they've opened for Tizo Touchdown, and they had one of their songs in the season 3 finale of On My Block, which I think is really cool. I love that show. A lot of their biggest influences are groups like Brockhampton and Odd Future, which I think is super cool, and you can really hear it in their music. They try to make sure that every member's voice is heard in their music, and you can really tell it also shows up in their art a lot. They have very distinct, very different styles of like each member's sort of work, and I think that's super cool. In 2020, they were also named one of the essential new artists, and I think that still applies today in 2025. It's so cool to watch them grown up, and especially seeing a lot of their TikToks blow up, which they have really silly TikToks of them just like singing on the streets.
I wanna be a billionaire so freaking bad. Buy all of the things I never had.
But I think that that also has really added to their fame today. So if you haven't heard their music yet, it is more on the pop side and less on the rap side, but I personally still really like it. Sticking in that sort of pop genre, I have 2 artists now, which I'm kind of gonna group into one. I think you guys might know who I'm talking about here, maybe not, but I don't know if you guys have ever heard of the band 5 Seconds of Summer or 5 Sauce. That is not the artist which we will be discussing, but it's kind of the artist which we will be discussing. 5 Sauce is an Australian pop rock band. You guys have probably heard of them. They blew up back in like 2015. They're still low-key blowing up now. I've already made a video about 5 Sauce, so if you want to watch it, it will be linked somewhere up there. And at the beginning of the year, I stated very clearly that this is the year of 5 Sauce because 2025 backwards reads as 5 Sauce. And let me just tell you, I was right. I was right. So the 2 artists that I'm going to be talking about here are 2 members of 5 Sauce that have been diving into making solo work. It is MICO, Clifford, and Calum. Fun fact, the 2 of them met in school. Actually, like almost all the members met in school, and they've just been making music ever since, which I think is super cool. But in the glorious year of 2025, the 2 of them have decided to take on music in a solo sense, which I think is really cool. Michael has always been kind of the more emo member. He streams on Twitch, he games, he also makes music, he has that whiny emo voice, and he's really putting it to use this year. His lead single of his new album, Cool, talks a lot about what it's like to be that like stereotyped emo member a little bit, but it also just wonders if he's cool enough, and the answer of course is yes, he is cool enough. The second single on his album is a collab with Waterparks, Austin Knight of Waterparks. It's a song called Gimme a Break. The music video is about fan fiction, they kiss. It's a really interesting experience. His album Side Quest comes out in July. It also features Porter Robinson and Ryan Hall, which so crazy. How did he manage to bag these? I have no clue. But it's safe to say that I am extremely excited for this album to come out. Aside from Michael though, Calum has also been coming out with a new album. He came out with a single a couple months ago called Don't Forget You Love Me. That was an interesting song that came out at an interesting time for me. I definitely didn't relate to it at all. His debut solo album, Order Chaos Order, literally just came out like a couple days prior to recording this video. It is a whirlwind talking about breakups, talking about heartache, talking about loneliness, talking about tarot cards a little bit. It is a little bit of pop, a lot of sadness, and I thoroughly enjoyed it, like a lot. Like it'll probably be on my Spotify Wrap. But both of these artists, while they are very successful in the band, they are finding a lot of success in their solo work too, which I think is so cool. And you know, me being a massive 5 Sauce fan as I am, it's just so amazing to have so much music available from each of the members in their solo work and as a band. It's just so crazy. They're all so talented. If you are not listening to their solo music, you are honestly missing out. And now our very, very, very last artist that we will be talking about today is not a group, it's not a band, it is MICO. MICO is a great artist. He is a good friend too. He makes this sort of like indie pop punk music. It's very inspired by 5 Sauce and similar artists. He also found his way into fame in about 2019-ish with his lead single Who Do You Love, and then his EP 21st Century Heartbreak in 2020, which is I believe where I found him from. He states that a lot of his influences include 5 Sauce, like I just mentioned, Bruno Mars, and Jeremy Zucker. His latest album is called Internet Hometown Hero, and he is about to go on tour for that in a couple of months now. The tour was announced. Hopefully he's coming to a city near you. He's unfortunately not coming to a city near me, but that is okay. I'll see him next time. His music has a sort of indie pop, bedroom pop feel to it. It has grown a lot with the years. It is now entering that more sort of punk rock nostalgic feel to it, which I thoroughly enjoy. I always love a little good punk pop inspired song, and I just love his music to death. I love him to death. He is an amazing person. He's so kind. He is just like a great artist. Oh my god, and he's hilarious. Like you'll love him. I know you will. But yeah, those are all of the artists that I had for you guys. Hopefully you found at least one artist that you're gonna enjoy. Be sure to leave more suggestions down in the comments for me, because I just love finding new artists, new albums to listen to. But aside from that, that's really all I have for today. I hope you guys liked this video. I hope you guys found something new to listen to, maybe a new artist, a new album, maybe even a new genre, who knows. But yeah, I'm gonna stop dragging this on. I have to go to bed. Bye!